Hey everybody, welcome back. We're living in really stressful times right now. There's a lot happening in the news and with the coronavirus that's making life really difficult. And so I wanted to do a little bit of a different video this time and share with you 6 mindfulness tools that I use in my life to create a little bit of balance and make it a little more easy to navigate through the times we're going through right now. And I wanted to share those tools with you. So hopefully you might be able to use 1 or 2 of them to create a little peace and harmony as you go about your life. So let's just talk a little bit about mindfulness. Now, mindfulness for me is really just taking the time out to breathe, to pause, to take stock in where I am and what I'm doing, to be conscious of what I'm doing. It's so easy being time-starved and being scheduled from one thing to the next, day after day after day, to never really take stock and be aware of your surroundings and how you're feeling and what you're doing. And so the 6 things that I'm going to share with you today are really different types of tools that I use and that you might be able to use in order to create a little bit of a higher level of mindfulness in your day. So with that, let's just get right into it. Now, the first tool that I use is an app, and it's called Timeout. And what Timeout is, it's really simple. It's essentially a timer that you can set on your computer to kind of darken or obscure your screen after a particular period of time. There's all sorts of different parameters and preferences that you can set for it. And it's for different time periods and different cadences in the day. And when your screen starts to kind of softly fade away, as Timeout makes it do, you can postpone it if you want. So it's not incredibly obnoxious in the fact that you can't, if you're caught up actually in something that you really have to do, that you can't delay it for a moment. But I found that Timeout is really an amazing little app. And it's free, but you can also contribute, and I've contributed to the author of this app because it's been so helpful to me. And one of the things that's been really helpful to me on is that I've had some repetitive stress injuries in my life in my arm from computer overwork and mouse work and stuff like that. And so Timeout really helps me kind of take a pause. It's very easy for me to work hours straight at my computer if I'm really deep into doing something. And so Timeout forces me, by obscuring my screen slowly and making me conscious of the fact that I haven't gotten up and moved in a half an hour, or I haven't stretched my arm, or I haven't done my strengthening exercises. And it's been really helpful for me to kind of be very conscious of my physical well-being when I'm working at the computer. The next mindfulness tool I want to mention is a little app called Oak. OAK. It's a meditation app, and essentially it's a meditation timer. You can set it for a particular period of time, and then it can accompany your meditation with music or a voiceover, a guided meditation of a person talking. And I find it to be very simple. It's very poetic in how the user interface is laid out and very intuitive. It's free, and it's just an amazing little app. I use it to meditate almost every day. And sometimes I only have 5 minutes, sometimes I have 20 minutes, sometimes I want to go for longer. Sometimes I want to just meditate with a little bit of music, sometimes I want to meditate with nothing. And you can set it up, it's got all sorts of preferences, so you can get it to give you a little chime in the beginning, a little chime halfway through, a little tone at the end, so you get a sense of the time and where you are in your meditation. I think it's a tremendous, cool little app, and I highly recommend it for you. Now, the third mindfulness tool I want to recommend is a book. It's a book by a guy named Eckhart Tolle. It's called The Power of Now. When I was burning out in my last gig in corporate America, I came across this book as part of a book club that I was part of, and it changed my life. Eckhart Tolle is really one of the founders of the schools of thought of mindfulness, of staying in the now. Dozens, hundreds of self-help books have been written using Eckhart Tolle's philosophies, but this is the seminal, the original book on that idea. So I highly recommend you're reading The Power of Now. It can be a game-changing experience in how it can teach you to mindfully control your thought patterns so you don't go in repetitive cycles of stressful thinking or negative thinking. And so I can't recommend this book, The Power of Now, highly enough. And the link is in the description. The fourth mindfulness tool I want to recommend to you is actually right here on YouTube. It's a channel, it's called Yoga with Adriene. And Adriene has millions of followers and hundreds of videos that she's put out. I've been watching her yoga videos for years, and she's really authentic, she's really gentle. She has that many followers for a reason. And if you've ever been curious about using yoga or starting to get into some sort of a yoga practice to improve your well-being, both mental and physical, Yoga with Adriene is a great place to start. I'm not being compensated for this. I am not an affiliate in any way, shape, or form. I am just sharing this channel with you because yoga, I have found, is really great for your physical well-being, your energy levels, your psychological well-being. And as a creative, I found that yoga really enhances and de-stresses my life. So I recommend it to you. So check out Yoga with Adriene. Now, the fifth mindfulness tool that I want to recommend for creatives is another book. It's called The Zen of Seeing, Seeing Drawing as Meditation. I read this book when I was in undergraduate school, and my drawing instructor used it to develop a number of exercises and techniques that we used in a figure drawing class. It was absolutely transformational in how it helped me see in a different way. Now, the Zen part comes into it in the fact that Zen is the art of no mind. I know it gets very woo-woo. It could take an hour and a half video to really describe it, and Zen, in a way, almost can't be described. But the idea and the concept, the philosophy of Zen as it relates to drawing is a very beautiful and interesting marriage, and this book does an amazing job of describing it and helping you see in different ways. So as a creative, if you do any kind of artwork, drawing, sketching, I highly recommend you check out The Zen of Seeing. It will really change and transform how you go about what you do when you draw. And finally, the sixth mindfulness tool I want to share with you for creatives is a sketchbook and a pencil. I happen to like mechanical pencils. This one is from Papermate. I've used these for decades. It's really great because you don't have to carry a sharpener. There's an eraser attached. It's really long. You don't have to carry anything but these two things. And I've found throughout my entire career that the best mindfulness tool that I have is to sketch. It stops me from going from one meeting to the next. It stops me from thinking in repetitive ways. It stops me from cycles of negativity. It stops me from cycles of stressful thinking and kind of pulls me into a world that is entirely my own. You can doodle, you can draw representationally, you can sketch out ideas, you can write. There's so many things that you can do with just a pencil and a sketchbook. It's actually one of the best mindfulness tools that I use and that I recommend for you to use to be mindful in what you do. It's old school, it's tactile, it's physical. You can actually keep it, you can carry it with you. It's permanent, it's visible. Sketchbooks rock. And so if you aren't using a sketchbook, I recommend that you get one and that you use it. It will change your life, and it is one of the deepest, most visceral and important mindfulness tools in my life, and I wish that for you. Now, before we go, I wanted to share with you that I've just started a private Facebook group. It's called the Brand Design Masters Facebook group. It's at facebook.com/groups/Brand Design Masters. It's a private group, so you have to answer a couple questions in order to be accepted into it. But it's full of amazing creative professionals and entrepreneurs, and I know that you will get a lot out of that community, both from a networking and a learning perspective. And also, I go live in there a lot. I spend a lot of my time in there. And so if you want more and direct contact with me, that's where you're going to find me. So head over to Facebook and join the Brand Design Masters Facebook group. And that's it. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you can get alerted when I go live or when I post something new. And with that, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.